Okay, so this is gonna be a patch update for what to expect with the new Paladin stuff. I know a lot of people have already talked about this, but this is specific. I got some details from a friend of mine at Hi-Rez last night. I just booted this up. I've been waiting for about 2 hours for this to load up. So we're gonna go over kind of together what you should be expecting from this. Basically, when you log in, let's go over champions first. They kind of reworked all this stuff, and I don't like how they have this set up. Basically, you have one costume now. There is only one costume. So, whereas before I would have, like, the Screech here, I would have that with the Imperator Androxus. That is no longer possible. You get one costume. You get to choose that costume. Also, the voice packs are exclusive as well. So, default Androxus will have that. If you get Steam Demon Androxus, trying to see, it says click to preview, but it doesn't let you. Yeah. Basically, that's what happens. Now, you can switch out the weapon, which is good, because, like, for me, I have Shattermaw. Let's start with a couple of the big things. Let's go over each of the characters has been buffed in some way. We're going to go alphabetical order. Because we're going to start with the character changes first, because I have loadouts that I have to fix. So let's start off with Androxus. Androxus is the first one, A, obviously. So, his revolver, the recoil on it has been decreased, but the damage is down from 580 to 520, as you can see. Nether Step, the distance on that has been increased, as well as Defiance no longer has a hit lock on it, which is nice. However, a lot of his cards were changed, so we're going to have to do new loadout for every single character now because of this. So, starting off with the first one is Abysmal Touch. Where is Abysmal Touch? Here we go. This has been nerfed a little bit. This is actually an increase, so it used to be 1.5 seconds, now it is 2 seconds. So that's our first change. Your next one's going to be Disrupt. What is Disrupt? I'm trying to read and do this at the same time. That has been increased as well. This has reduced the cooldown by 1.2. It used to just be 1. Featherweight has been completely redone to damage reduction. Before, this was increased air control during drift. That is gone now. You also have Spite has been changed to Spiteful. Right here, hitting an enemy by Defiance. That has a new effect as well. It used to be hitting an enemy grants you X amount of movement speed for 4 seconds. That has been changed to what it is currently. Watchful is the last card change that we have with Androxus, which is getting an elimination reduces all active cooldowns by 10%. That used to be hitting an enemy reveals them to you through stealth. So for right now, I'm still going to have the equivalent exchange is going to be there. We'll put Disrupt in there again, probably. The Nether Step. I don't need to take that because they've already boosted the dash distance. So instead, we're going to be going with Watchful and the reload speed. Bump this up to 50%. That's going to be an interesting one for me. That I'm going to go up to 200 on. This card I might take out. I still think the dash distance. Because what's that card? Reduce cooldown. No, that's helpful, but I don't know. I'm a bit intrigued now because here we go. I like this one better, the Seething Hatred. I did that before. The question is, do we want to go with I'll go with the reload speed just because he has such a hard time reloading. But this is gonna be the my new loadout for Androxus. I have to literally do every single character now. So we're gonna move on to our next character, which would be Ash. There are no bug fixes that we have to go over, which is good. Balance-wise, if we're looking at Ash, which first off, I now have to I really don't like the fact that you have to do this. I have to change every single one of these over. So looking at her ability, Slug Shot, her talent right there. This card has been changed. It no longer granted increased damage. It used to grant increased damage, and it also counts as direct damage when you take that. Before, even if you had that, it would still fall as burst damage for area damage. Now it is direct damage, so you have to pay very close attention when playing against Ashes now. For loadout changes, her card has been a bit interesting. Obviously, we're going to just have to clear her all, because that's just what we're going to do. This is going to be a very long video, by the way. This is just the patch details. So let's start off with Gate Crasher. Where is this at? Right here. Reduce cooldown. That has been increased from 1 second to 0.12 to 1.2. Indomitable. This is one of the other features I do need to mention. Crowd controls now include knockbacks, knock-ups, stuns, and slows. Before, they were having a glitch where it only affected stuns. Crowd control and slow reduction is now everything in the game that affects any sort of crowd control. It does not affect cripples, however. Cripples are not affected. It's just stun, slow, knock up, and knock back. Okay, so Indomitable. This has been increased. All of your crowd control abilities, by the way, have gone up. They were at 10% before. They're now at 14%. The price of Resilience has also gone up from 200 to 300 for the in-game item for that because of this. Because you can have more effects in-game in your loadouts, you can also have, it's going to be a higher price item now, which is fine. It also helps negate the people who would take right off the bat. They would buy for 200 they would get Rejuvenate, and for 200 they would get Resilience, so that they would get more healing and less knockback. That is now gone. That strategy is completely gone. Okay, so Watchtower, here we go. Siege Shield, that is a new ability completely. Before it was Siege Shield would reveal nearby enemies for 1 second. They've also overhauled the reveal process, which I have that paperwork some here, but it's at the bottom of the pile because I have my notes in front of me for this. Like I said, I would have done this video last night to warn you guys, but it was 12 o'clock in the morning when I got it. It would have been 1 o'clock before I got the video out for a live stream, and it's going to be an hour-long video at least. So I wasn't gonna do that last night. Siege Engine is another ability with a completely new effect. If you look at that, it's reduced cooldown of Siege Shield by 1 second for every enemy hit with Kinetic Burst. That's just a minor tweak. It used to be for each enemy hit, it was a lesser amount. Any of those abilities, for the most part, that were for each enemy hit, reduced cooldown, now it's been an increased amount for a singular enemy. So it makes those a little bit more effective if you're trying to choose them. Now, Ash did have area effect, which kind of helped. I'm also very angry right now with this game, which is why I'm not really doing anything. Let me start working on a loadout. I don't play Ash very often. What else? Increase health of Siege Shield, or let me go with the knockback. Boost health. Also, if you like playing support characters like me, I've got bad news for you coming up. All of your support characters' base health has been dropped to 2,200. So if Maldama's the one that took the biggest hit, he lost 450 health, but we're gonna get to that later on. I don't think that's gonna help. I'll take the cooldown by 2 seconds, eliminations by 20%. Okay. I'll stick with this. I'm interested by this loadout. Okay, so the next character we would have obviously is Barrack. Barrack, he doesn't have any big changes to his cards coming up. The voiceover thing is really annoying me. Pose. I really don't like this system right here. I like being able to mix them out. Like, Leon is gonna piss me off because I don't like Leon's headpiece. I don't like Maeve's headpiece. With the Rave Maeve, I don't like those headpieces, so that's gonna be a bit annoying. Barrack doesn't have any changes to this department. It's just his loadout. It's nothing that's going to affect me for the most part. There's literally nothing in here that I use, but for a lot of people who like a mobile build, accelerator field, which is you and your allies gain X amount of movement speed, that has been increased from 3 seconds to 5 seconds, which is what it is now. That used to be 3. And then red streak, reduced cooldown of rocket boots. What's that? That has been upped from 1 to 1.4 seconds. Failsafe. That has a completely new effect right now. This used to be dropping below 50% of your max health, reduced the cooldown by 20%. Now it's dropping below 10%, completely resets the cooldown. Brave and the Bold, another one, that was a crowd control. Basically anything that was a crowd control feature, where gain 10% crowd control, that is now 400. This one used to be when you were near a turret, so I took that ability. Now I'm not going to be taking that. I go with a heavy turret loadout, so... With my eliminations, and... reduce cooldown of barricade. That's what I generally take. So, standing near heals you for X amount. This is the loadout that I generally go with. Oh, 350, 400, 20%. Oh, is that one more? 500? 525? I don't know. Hang on, let me reset this. Okay. That look good? I think that's pretty good. Let's just do this. Alright, so there's Barrack.
Barrack!
Yeah, I don't like that right there. So basically you get that. Also every character, what I would call the color variants, every character now has one, and when you use that when you purchase that character variant, it's basically just a color swap. They did refund most of the people who had those. But, like I said, this system right here really annoys me. That they took away the head accessory slot, they took away the voice pack slot. You're kind of stuck using this. They said they wanted to simplify it, but to me, this is really annoying. I don't like Pirate Barrack voice. There's a couple of voices I don't like here. Strictly, the way I play Cassie, I like a certain outfit on Cassie. Can't use that outfit now, because it's just going to be a really annoying voice. I have the same thing with... Alright, so let me skip ahead to Maeve just for this. Maeve. Right? I have Rave Maeve. I don't like that headpiece. That thing fucking is just weird as hell. I don't like it, and yet I'm stuck with it now. Which I'm not happy about. Oh, wait, I don't have that unlocked? I thought I did. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit annoying. Also, I'm just... do that. Again, another one is, Liane. Where if you look at Liane, so I like the high elf costume. That's my favorite there, right? I don't like the voice pack with it, which is gonna piss me off to no end. There's also not a very good indication of what you are selecting. Like, normally you will press X, and you will have, before you would have what you were selecting would appear. Now you don't know if you've hit it by accident. You have to press O and see it on the next menu, because it just has your stupid character sitting right here. I don't like that headpiece. She just looks ugly to me now with those freaking ears. Yeah, same thing. Sky is another example that I mix and match pieces with. Where, okay, so the Kanuchi, I don't like the headpiece for it. I have default Sky was that one. And luckily you can still switch out the weapon. That to me is big, because I have the chrome. But other than that, I mean... this is going to be a bit annoying. Okay, so let's keep going over some of the patches. I got sidetracked for a minute there because of how annoying the costume is. So we're on to Bomb King now. Bomb King has had a little bit of a problem. His health has been reduced by 200. He was 24. I'm just dropping the 100 part completely. He was 24. Another example. Okay, Biz King. Don't like that crown for Biz King, but also having the Bomb King, the pumpkin bombs, little green goblin, wick. Abilities. So this has been clarified. They said that they updated the description text for his talents of Royal Subjects and Demolition, but nothing really big happening there. Card-wise, he's got a bunch of new cards that we have to deal with. Let's start with the first one. Is Ablative Coating is completely new. This was increased health of Poppy Bomb, is now hitting an enemy heals you for X amount. You have the same thing with Reinforced Casing, which was Sticky Bomb. Increased health of Sticky Bomb is now crowd control reduction. Countdown, reduced cooldown of Poppy Bomb, or Grumpy Bomb, sorry. That has been nerfed. That was at 1 second, it's now 0.5 seconds. Jolt, Poppy Bomb has X amount of knockback against enemies and exploding on surface. That's been increased. It is from 5%, or from 10% to 15%. Where is that? There we go. And then Royal Decree was reload speed increased for every Sticky Bomb detonate, is now reload speed increased after using detonate. So these cards, the health cards, are going to become a lot more necessary because of this. So basically, before my Bomb King was 2600, now he's going to be back to what he was before. I think that's a bit of a problem for me. Heal for every Sticky Bomb detonated. And then I'll take this card. I'll take this card. I have to do the healing. Actually, I will probably switch this out. I don't really know what to take here for his other cards, so I'm gonna have to experiment. Like, my Androxus load is gonna be changed rapidly. Let me just go with this.
Bomb King.
Okay, so your next character is gonna be Buck. Buck is a bit of an interesting character. Once again, I've gotta completely change everything. For this costume thing is gonna piss me off to no end. The only good thing that I'm happy about is with the Trigger Man. I had a problem where I had the Trigger Man weapon, but I did not have the costuming for it. The Kingpin, I had the costume for it, but I didn't have the weapon. So I kind of mixed and matched the two, which is what I will be doing here. But it was a bit annoying before that I just could not get it. That has been changed. I don't like this voice pack problem, though. That's going to be a problem for me. I think that they should be patching that. Alright, what do I have for... No, I don't have a spray for him. It's just Slayer. Okay, in terms of abilities, nothing got changed. So it's just the loadout. And the loadout, my loadout here is going to stay exactly the same, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have to change anything here, which I'm happy about. All of the things that they... the only thing that they've really changed is... So let's look. Bully is gain life shot against targets that you hit with net shot. That has gone up from 10% to 12%. Concussion, reduced cooldown. That went up from 1 second to 1.5. Deep Breath, which is something I do use. What is that? The cooldown on that, or the effect duration on it, was increased from 2 seconds down to 3 seconds. Exhilaration, that used to be heal for each champion that you hit. Now it's heal a base amount if you hit a champion. And then momentum is another leap ability, is grants damage reduction for X amount of seconds. That used to be movement speed when landing near an enemy. But other than that, everything here is good.
Fuck.
Still. We go to Cassie. Cassie's something that, or the voice that goes with it. Because the other thing I have, Timber. I don't really like the Timber, because I like that Blackbird. So I'm going to have to stick with this, and stick with that annoying-ass voice. I refuse to have that, the cheer one. The mastery pose, and... Nope, no spray. Okay, for talents, the impulse one, that has been nerfed. It used to be the bonus damage was 350, now it is 250. Going to the cards, there are a couple of changes. Kinetics is, that now includes the duration of it. Before it did not, where now it includes the 3 second. The amount of healing that is reduced is been nerfed. So it was 18%, now 15%. I may consider, yeah, we're just going to do another loadout for her in a minute. Raise, increase the amount of knockback by disengage. That has been increased, surprisingly, from 6% to 8%. Sky Warden is, that's a completely new effect. If you want to arrow over. Hitting an enemy with disengage heals you for X amount. That used to be the cooldown is reduced when hitting an airborne target. Just simply no one could use that ability for the most part. So, because you had to use disengage to knock people up in the air and blast shot to hit them in the air most of the time, it was harder to do it the other way around. And then tumble got changed. But, which is, it's now, like I said, the 14%. I'm going to take all of my standard cards for the most part. I will probably take this one out. Yeah, I'm not going to end up taking that out. Okay, so this is the loadout that I do. Like that, that's not as helpful. This is the loadout that I usually take. Just because I have such a high quiver with her. Drogos. Drogos is going to be interesting now. So we have some bug fixes. Booster now inherits momentum. So when you use it off of a dismount, you will be getting that momentum with you. Before you didn't have that. Okay, I like how if you look on my screen, it says the Terramorph outfit is locked. Yet I can still use it here. Let me try it. Yep, I can still use it. Thank you very much. I do not have Terramorph's Maul, I don't believe. Nope, because I fell just short, but I have Dread Hunter's Maul. That's good. What do I have for Drogue? Rocketeer. Mastery. And then Terramorph. Just wait till you see what happened in Ranked. Ranked has changed. Because it used to be competitive, now it is ranked. Alright, looking at Drogos. So, the collision size of his ultimate has changed. It is now smaller. So, in order to land Dragon's Punch, you have to be dead on. This is gonna make it even harder to hit. The only bright side to that is they did reduce the collision size of Drogos, which means when you're flying around the map before, you would sometimes bump into things and get stuck on obstacles, and that would just destroy your ult completely. That has gone away. So the margin of error you have for hitting someone has gone down, but the margin of error for hitting someone has increased as well. Looking at the cards, couple of changes. My Drogos build, I don't think it's going to change. Let me see. Apex Predator. I might put a couple more points into that. No, nothing here is really going to change. I'd probably do that. I'll probably switch these two out if I can. Yeah, I'll switch this out. And... basically, Apex Predator, obviously that got boosted. Condescension, reduced cooldown of thrust for each enemy hit with fire spit. That has been changed. That's now reduced cooldown when hitting a enemy. You're gonna have that a lot. That and the here we go. Follow the scent. That has been changed. Enemies hit by fire spit take less healing. That is what I'm gonna switch at. That I like. Oh. Wait. Okay, there we go. Go on. I'll do that loadout. Okay, so that is changed. That I will switch out. And then Hyper Boost is restore booster fuel each time salvo hit the target. That used to be reduce cooldown each time salvo hit the target. The amount was also very small. Now it's a lot higher. So this loadout is going to be good for me. I do like that voice. Eevee! Eevee's another one.
Eevee.
Where is my Bewitching? Bewitching. The other thing that's a bit annoying is it does show a lot of stuff is locked that you may have. So that's something you need to be careful with your characters. Okay. For her, couple of changes. For one thing, her Ice Staff, you had an accuracy loss when firing in air, so if you had used Soar to fly high up, kind of like a knockoff Willow, and were firing down below, you had a big accuracy loss. That is now gone. Also, the range on Blink has been increased automatically. As a trade-off, if you go to the cards here, Teleport, that used to be 10%, that is now 6%. We will be switching that out. And then Cold Acclamation, that has been massively buffed. That used to be weapon deals used to be 20%. Now it's 60/10%. So if you look, your base amount is 60, and then it increases by 10 each time you upgrade it. So that is a better card if you just want the one level of it. This card I will be switching out probably. I just don't know what the hell I'm gonna put in its place. I'll do this. Let's reduce cooldown by 2 seconds. Yeah. Let's go with that. Okay, then Fernando. Do we have anything for... Were there any buffs for Fernando? No, there's no bugs or anything for Fernando. This is the only thing that I'm happy about is I get the God of War stuff. Do the Meteoric, just because I have it. I'm sorry, this Mastery emote is so over the top, I can't help it. Okay, going down to his abilities. So, for one thing, Aegis now has a cooldown on it. It now actually is going to list what your cooldown is. Formidable did not, Aegis did not, they both do now. Formidable, that used to be 60% health, maximum health regeneration, it's now 55%. Mostly because there is that card where you would increase, I'll show you in a minute, because I'm going to have to switch it out probably. And then Dragonfire's Lance, that has reduced VFX. So there's nothing there outside of a cosmetic change. Card-wise, he's got a couple of card changes. Immovable Object, once again. Here, you have Last Stand. That they have not changed that at all, but that's why they nerfed the Formidable card, because people would just load up. Immovable Object, again, like I said, the crowd control. Launch, increase the distance of charge. That has been changed from 10% to 12%. Looks that kill is also been changed. Where's looks that kill? This used to be hitting an enemy recharges maximum overheat. This is now recharges ammo. Pyre is the big one that's been changed. Your overheat cost, which is essentially your reload speed, has been changed to maximum ammo capacity. So this is going to be a big overhaul for me. And then Unstoppable Force, charge applies an X amount of knockback. That has been increased dramatically. That was 300. It's now 800 and goes up by 2. So I'm very intrigued by this. I'm going to be doing a new loadout for him. Let's start. Where's... Base health. 5 points. Just because I need my tank. Health of shield. 5 points. Now comes the hard part, because I used to do Pyre, which if I were to max Pyre out, only increases it by 50. That's 150. That card, to me, is kind of useless. I'm going to take the Charge. Reduce cooldown by 10%. I don't know if I want to do that. I'll probably go Last Stand again, just because I'm going to need a card where I can only put 1 point into. And then I'm really conflicted because I could go with Looks That Kill, or I could go with Launch. I could build a lot more around Charge. But I'm not sure. Oh, I forgot about Dire Need. How could I forget about Dire Need? Damn. This applies a knockback. Yeah, I'm just gonna go this. If I switch anything out, it would be this. But I kind of don't want to. Like, he has a lot of good cards now. Fernando before, he had like 7 cards that you would choose from. You had about 3 of them that you would only use as like that 1 or 2, and then you had 4 cards that you wanted to put points into. He's got a lot of cards now. Like, I'm considering switching that out. I'm not gonna, though. And that has a knockback, so it's just gonna become, he's gonna be firing. Fernando. He's gonna be having a lot more of a fire. Now we move on to Grok. Hey, buddy, you lost a lot of health. Yeah, Grok lost 200 health. All of your supports went down, with the exception of Grover. Grover is the only support that is at 2,300 health, which means he's going to have the highest base value in the game for health when you end up bumping him up. Love the Grok slide. And Slayer. Okay, ability-wise, no changes whatsoever. We're good there. The loadout's going to change, and I will be doing a completely new loadout for him as well. Because just like Fernando, because he's got the overheat on his, I was going to say his gun, but it's not his gun. He's got a lot of card changes. Let's start. Arc Lightning, that increased range of Shock Pulse, that is up by 2% from 10 to 12. Conduit has been completely changed. Conduit was gain X amount of movement speed for 3 seconds. If it hits an enemy, it's now gain X amount of movement speed for each unique enemy hit. Well, it used to be the unique enemy. Now it's just if it hits. Crackle, increase duration of healing totem. That's something that I would take. That has been decreased from 1 second down to 0.6. So that to me is going to be useless. Electrostatic, they just upgraded the description. Where's the electrostatic? They've increased the amount of ammo regeneration. That's going to be a big pickup. I'm going to have to go damage build. Haunting, reduced cooldown of Ghost Walk. That is up by 0.1 second. Lightning Rod, hitting a champion with Shock Pulse heals you. That is going up 25 to 30 healing. Thunderlord, increased ammo capacity. That has gone up 8% to 10%. And then Thunderstruck, recharge X amount of ammo for each unique enemy hit by Thundershock. That has gone up from 4% to 6%. So my base healing thing, the only 2 things, I took these 2 for healing. I have to take these 2 for damage, and I have to take that for health. So we have this, so this is going to be a bit of a problem. I take 30% with this. I got to do this. 24%. I could do that. 2%. 30%. Yeah. This is my build. It's a high damage build. For Grok. I'm not happy. Grover, my baby Grover. They've nerfed him so much. I'm very upset. Talents and abilities have been changed, as well as base health. Looking at talents and abilities, the Effervescent was providing a much larger area. It was about 200% healing. That has been buffed. It's now accurate. Same thing with Blossom, where when you would activate Blossom, it did not have a sound effect. It does now. Vine, you also no longer lose accuracy in your Vine when you are jumping. So if you jump in midair and use Vine, it will now hit. So that's a nice pickup there. In terms of Grover, however, not a lot of changes to the cards, but it's going to be enough where I have to do a new loadout now. Or is it? I don't think so. I'm just gonna change this. I'll probably switch this card out. Basically, so what are we looking at? Chop down, reduce cooldown of crippling throw. That's been increased 0.5 to 0.6 seconds. Gentle breeze, allies gain movement speed after being healed by Blossom. That is up from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. Heavenly agility, after using Vine, get air control. That has been changed. The pull speed has been changed, so you'll get there faster. And then unstoppable, which is the damage reduction after using, that's what I'm going to be switching out right now. That has increased from 5 to 6%, and the cooldown on it has upgraded for the duration of 4 seconds to 2 seconds. However, we're going to be changing this. I'm going to change it to reduce cooldown of Blossom by a second.
Grover.
Because that'll bring it down to 11 seconds. I don't know, I'm kind of just sticking with that. Alright, next character is Inara. Inara, she's got a couple of changes too. I don't have anything really for her. Wait, my emote was gone, I think. Take that. Okay, going to her cards and talents and stuff like that. We have had some changes in this department that may or may not be good or bad. Stonewall, yes. Interesting thing. Wait, where is Stonewall? It says Stonewall right here, but I don't. Okay, I think they meant to change the name of Impasse, but they didn't actually do it. No longer blocks the line of sight to the payload in terms of contesting, which means if you were trying to contest the payload and the Stonewall was in front of you, that no longer affects your ability to contest. Tremors, which is that talent, that used to be get 70% cooldown reduction by 70% as long as Impasse is not destroyed. That is now just flat cooldown reduction. Which is interesting, because you look, now you actually have a reason to take something besides treacherous ground. You just know it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, you know it's not. The cards have also changed a bit. I don't think I'm going to be... No, I'm not going to be changing any of this. But just as an example, Crag has changed completely. That used to be Impasse gain 6% damage reduction from Earth and Guard, is now activating it, heals you. This has a cooldown on it as well, because they don't want people doing this with the other card, with Tremors. Insurmountable, that's another crowd control thing. Living Stone, reload speed is going up from 10% to 12. Rolling Stones, you cannot be slowed below base movement, that is gone. Getting an elimination reduces all active cooldowns by 8%. And last one is Whetstone, is been changed. Eliminations grant X reload speed for 5 seconds, is now just base reload speed. So I'm going to be switching this one out, just because it's not as useful. The damage reduction in Warden's Field. I'm tempted, I'm trying to go between Rolling Stones or Whetstone. I don't know which one to go with. I'll probably go with Whetstone because she does reload slower. Genos! She's got that new skin.
Genos.
Looking good. On the plus side, I can keep my ghoulish goalie for a while. Until I get the Soul Eater, and then I'm stuck with Soul Eater. Emote. I'm telling you, this patch is gonna have some problems for me. Like, for the cosmetic side of this patch is bad. Like, we've only gone through one row of characters, and I've been rambling for 40 minutes. Basically, okay, health is down by 200. That's gonna hurt. No changes in this department. It's just gonna be the cards. I don't think I'm gonna be changing any cards. I don't think so. No. No, everything here is good. I may switch one out depending on what happens. Eclipse. Okay, this is enemies affected by Void Grip get reduced healing. That is gone from 2.5 seconds to 3 seconds. I thought it was over here. Sorry. Cosmic Barrier, that is less damage reduction while using Stellar Wind. I got rid of that yesterday. I knew that was coming. Falling Star, that's been upgraded. So it's now from 15 to 20% active cooldown reduction. Inertia is gone. That used to be cannot be slowed below X amount. That's now just straight up reload speed. Inner Peace, decrease cooldown of Void Grip. That's going up from 1 to 1.2. Lifesteal has also gone down. I'm going to be switching that out. No, wait, I already did. Damn. I actually got ahead of this stuff. And then Star Seeker, which was increased air control when using Stellar Wind, that's going up from 10% to 14%. So, for right now, I don't think I will switch this card out. I think I'll leave it as is. No bug changes or anything. So we go to Kinessa. Kinessa's interesting, because there's some changes that were made that are good and some that were kind of iffy. Yeah, like, I don't know half the stuff that I have anymore. They tried to slim this down. I get what they were trying to do with the cosmetic change, where they said, okay, it's too much of a problem having all these things, but they kind of messed up your ability to create custom characters. Like, for me, I had, like, my Sky, I had a piece of 4 different costumes. It was unique to me. Not a lot of people were doing it. That's just gone. It's kind of cookie cutter, and it's definitely something that I'm hoping that they get rid of and bring back the customization options, because now these characters, they just look the same. They literally, like, if you were to have, you could have 2 Kinessas on a team that would look the same in this game now. Before you did it, if you had situations like that. The teleporter now has a trail effect to it. So when you activate it, it's going to show enemies where it is. Other than that, it's just card changes mostly. Let's see, is there anything I do have to change? Actually, no, I don't have to change anything here. I might do this just to show you what we have. Calibrate, hitting an enemy with Carbine lowers cooldown of Transporter. That has been nerfed big time from 0.25 to 0.12. Where is that? Right there. That's the big one that a lot of people were trying to abuse, because they would just teleport. Headstrong has been completely changed. That is ooh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're gonna have to do a new loadout for Kinessa. I was too tired last night when I read this stuff. Increase maximum health? Hell yeah. Now with them taking away health from the support characters, it's gonna become more vital that you do that. What else do we have? Restore now has a 10-second internal cooldown on it. Restore is the card where heal for 10% of maximum health after using teleporter. Yeah, that's now got a cooldown. Power supply that was kill reloads faster, blah blah. Kills grant X amount of ammo now. And then True Grit, killing an enemy with a fully charged shot heals you for X amount, has been changed to hitting an enemy with a fully charged shot. Okay, taking quick scope. I built around the mines a lot. That was my thing. And now I've got to do a completely different loadout. Yeah, I'll stick with this loadout.
Kinessa.
Okay. Lex is one we're going to have to work with a little bit. He did have a bug fix. The Inescapable card, Lex would sometimes get higher movement speed than was possible. Yeah.
Lex.
If you look at... Where's the card? Oh, shit. I did not mean to do that, but oh well. Where's Inexcusable? Wait a minute. The Inexcusable or Inescapable? They spelled this wrong on my Inescapable. Here we go. 5% movement speed within 60 units of your Retribution target. That, I got told they were doing 10% movement speed with that card. So...
Lex.
Now I have to go in and update all the stupid costume changes that are pissing me off. This is going to be the thing I'm going to bitch about the whole time. I don't care. No changes to any talents or abilities, it's just the loadout changes, which I kind of screwed up before. Hardiness is something that I'm happy about. That got increased. That went from gain 4% to gain 5% damage reduction in Pursuit. What do we have? Wicked Don't Rest. Landing a headshot lowers the cooldown of Combat Slide. That was nearly impossible. That's just hitting an enemy reduces it. Juke boots cannot be slowed below max. Yep, I'm gonna have to do a new loadout. I was right. Lex now has boosted health because, come on, Juke boots. Yep, increased maximum health. I got no choice. Conditions. So now he's not going to be as much of a flank for me. And then Assail was gain movement speed in pursuit. It's just activating pursuit does that. Also, Restock now has a timer on it. Before it did not. Where I had that little cooldown timer. Like this. This is an interesting one. Because now I have to decide, do I want to go Compel or Well-Oiled? I don't really notice that much. So I'll go with Compel. Boom. I gotta go 30% on this. 20% on this. And get 6 movement speed. So this is gonna be a completely different loadout for me for Lex. I'm not used to this kind of a thing. I had him as this super beefed up speed run. Like, he would fly around, I would activate Pursuit, I would heal, I would take damage. That is gone right here. He's going to be a little bit more straight up. Okay, next character is Leon.
Leon.
Yeah, that high elf voice is going to piss me off to no end. I really wish you could do custom voice packs. No changes to any of her abilities. I shouldn't have to do any changes here. I said that last time, but let me just check. Eagle's Emerald. Hang on. There we go. Eagle's Emerald has been completely changed. That used to be headshots reduce cooldown of Valor by 1 second. That's just hitting an enemy with the heirloom rifle reduces cooldown of Valor. And it's by a lot less. Present Arms, heal for X amount, health after using Presence, that's gone up. Revitalizing Gem, heal for X amount for every enemy hit with Valor, that's going up as well, 30 to 50. And then Royal Seal has been changed, which is Presence reduces healing, X amount for 3 seconds. That used to be a lot higher. It was 50% for 1 second. It's now 15% for 3 seconds.
Leon.
So I don't need anything there. Meave. God, that head is so annoying. There is no changes to talents or abilities. Cards have changed. Anything that I use? No. Okay. Featherlight, new effect. Gain damage reduction while in Prowl. That used to be fall speed in Prowl. Persistence, that's changed as well. Gain damage reduction when below 40% health. That used to be you cannot be slowed below base movement. Scar Tissue, that has been increased as well. Gain X amount of damage reduction for X amount of seconds using 9 lives. It's going up by 1% and 1 second. So a little bit more of a boost there. And then 6 cents gain damage reduction for X amount while using Pounce. That is up by 1 second from 2 to 3 seconds. So I know a lot of Mave players who are going to be pissed about some of the speed loadouts that they had going. Those got nerfed a little bit. Makoa. Well, now this is an interesting thing. He was a very high tanky type build. That's gone. They really did nerf him in a couple of ways that I don't like. Knew the Dutchman. For one thing, Leviathan was the card that I used because it was 1600 health. So it put me at 6100 base health, and then when I would be in Ancient Rage, it increased it to almost 11,000. That has been nerfed. It's only 1200 health increase. So he's not going to get to 6,000 health anymore. Wah. Also, Anchor Chain, or whatever you call it, Dredge Anchor, it's sitting right in front of me, I don't care. Cooldown on it has been increased by 3 seconds. It went from 8 seconds to 11 seconds, and the hitbox for it is a lot smaller now. So you have to be a lot more accurate to hit with it. Collision size was a problem with it. Next to nothing for cards changes, which is what I'm surprised about. The only thing that is, like one of these is going to be helpful. Lighter Cannonballs is going up from 5% to 7%, so yay. Rampage, gain X movement speed for X seconds. That's going up from 3 seconds to 6 seconds, and then Determination is another crowd control thing. They went a long way with fixing crowd control. Maldamba's going to be the biggest change in the game for me, because I got good with Maldamba at the end. Like, right at the end of the last one, I got good with that. That's gone now. A lot of the things that I had. Okay, Defiler Syncova. Mastery, emote, pose, spray. Okay, let's start with the big change. Big change is right here. He lost almost 500 health this patch. They really wanted to make the support characters squishy. Support characters now have about the same health as flanks. Where, like, you could tank with a good number of healers. Like, okay, for example, Grover, definitely Saris and Grok, and then to a limited extent Maldamba. Those 4 guys you could play as a pseudo frontline. You cannot anymore. Mending Spirits. This is something I'm happy with. I was told the cooldown was going to be increased from the 3 seconds to the 4 seconds. It may be a glitch. They may have decided against that. I'm happy if they leave it the way it is. Slither also has a base increase of 20% in the amount of distance that it does. Other than that, it's just the cards. I gotta see if I'm changing anything. I don't think so. No. Okay, just to show. What do we have? Okay. Otherworldly, gain movement speed for X amount after Slither ends. That's been upped from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Pugent Gourd, that would reveal enemies through stealth. That went up from 0.5 to 0.8 seconds. Sustenance, receive more healing when below 50% health. That went up from 5 to 8%. And then Venomous Gourd has been decreased slightly. This is enemies hit take 15% less is what it used to be. It's now 10, but the duration has gone up, so it's from 1 second to 3 seconds. The big thing, though, I think it is still bugged. I don't think it's anything that, I don't think it's anything that has been changed yet. It may be a glitch, like we had a couple where they would not reveal what the actual cooldown is, but if they buffed Mending Spirits, that's going to be a big problem for people like me who use high damage builds on Maldamba. My Maldamba build can do about 70,000 damage a match, if I want to. Moji got buffed the last match. She didn't get buffed this match. She literally had like 1 card change. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's nothing important. So Will-O-Wisp, which is a crowd control thing. They boosted all the crowd control reduction. There's nothing to talk about there. Pip's got some big changes coming to him. This is something that they slid in before. They slid this in on the 28th. But it is official today. Healing Potion. The duration of it is, or the effect of it has been improved. It now goes through walls. It was something that you don't have to have a direct line of sight in order to hit with it. You can just toss it out and it will hit. His health, guess what? It's been decreased. Yay, I guess. See, this is another thing. I don't want the Raider. I'm gonna have to go Raider with Pip. Go ahead for my default. Okay, I better have my Inflame. Yeah, I have my Inflame. Thank you very much. Nothing here. Go with the pose. Go with the spray. So he did have a couple of changes to his cards. I don't think it's anything I have to do. Let me just check. Side tanks, reduce cooldown of explosive flask. That's gone up 0.5 to 0.6 seconds. Eliminations reduce all active cooldowns by 5%. That's now 6%. Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to change this completely. Yeah, I don't know where that reload card snuck in. That instantly reduced cooldowns potion by 0.5. That's now 0.6 for each ally hit. Receive 10% healing when below 50% health. That's up from 5%. Reduce cooldown of weightlessness. That is down from 1 second to 0.5. And then reload speed has gone up. Where's... That also has a cooldown on it, so I'm not going to be taking that probably. I've got to bump this up to 100%, take this to 90, and take that to 50%, and we'll stick with that.
Pip.
Who else? Next one is Ruckus. We're getting there. I know I've been droning on for a while, but we're getting there. Ruckus has had kind of a big change to his damage output.
And bolt.
Before it was 48 damage a second, or damage a round. It is now down to 40. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you look at the fact that he's got 200 rounds, if you were to hit with 100 of those, you've lost a ton of frickin' damage there, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to be a pretty big drop-off. Also, Aerial Assault no longer has a 1 second cooldown reduction on it. A lot of people did that for the cooldown reduction on it. No, not anymore. We are going to be having a couple of changes. They still, by the way, have not patched out where Emitter slows enemies. They said they patched that at an OB67 during the Moji patch, as I call it. Haven't done that. Have not done that at all. And I'm a bit upset with that. Alright, so looking at cards. Extended magazines. Advanced generates X amount of ammo. That's going up from 10 to 15. Reduced cooldown missile launchers. That has gone up 0.5 to 0.7 seconds. Activating advanced heals you for X amount. That's going up again, 50 to 80. Opulence, heal for X amount when activating missile launcher. That's gone up 75 to 100. And then Slow Dampener has been renamed to just Dampener. And this is what's going to make me have to do a fully new loadout. Is Dampener now has increased health. I'm always going to take those cards, by the way. I'm always going to do it. There's just no way I can avoid doing that. Simply because I need as much health as I can possibly get. Because I get stuck with shit healers. No offense to the shit healers out there, but you are shit healers. Like, the people who spam need healing, I'm not one of those people, except when I play Inara, and I'm literally tanking the enemy team for you at 20% health. Then I will get pissed off. What else do I need here? I'll go 200 a second and increase the duration. Wait. How long is the duration of Emitter? Emitter is 3.5 seconds. So I'll double that. I'll do 3. Yeah. This is my problem. I wish there was a way that you could see what your ability was when you would actually do that. Alright, so that'd be 200. That'd be 250. We'll do this at 3 seconds, and then I'll have enough to increase. I'll do this. I'll increase movement speed when firing. So now my question... So now Ruckus is going to be OP as fuck. He's going to be a huge front line now. My Ruckus build right now is going to be 5,250 health. Then you add the shield to that. I'm going to be over 8,000 health with my shield at full health. He's basically taking Makoa's place as being that really beefed up frontline. Saris is another one that she did not get a lot of changes, but it's a bit interesting. Her health has gone down by 400. I really don't like how they dropped the health there. And this is another thing too. I'm kind of screwed because I don't like the hat that goes with this. I don't like her horns. I don't like the hat with this. I don't like the horns. But I like the rest of the outfit, so I have to go with that. This costume thing is pissing me off. Between the hats, I'm a big hat person. The hats have changed, and the voice packs have changed. It's pissing me off. I hate the Divine Saris voice as well. Mass Repose. And I do have Infernal. I think Infernal better. Okay. Are there any changes here? No changes here. They only changed 2 cards. I don't need to change any of them. Sorceress, gain reload speed. That has gone from 5 to 7%, and then Fade to Black has changed completely. This was Restore Soul, reduces cooldown of Shadow Travel when channeling it by 0.3 seconds. That's changed. Activating Restore Soul reduces the cooldown outright for 0.8 seconds. So that's not much of a big change there. Now we go to Shaolin. Shaolin just had a couple of card changes. The only good news is... Yeah, there's no costume stuff I have to worry about with Shaolin, at least. No changes to anything here. Loadout, I think the loadout is going to change. I don't know if it is or not. Fuck it, I'll just do another one for you. Oasis, using withdraw heals for X amount, that's going up. That went from 50 to 80. Poise, which is crowd control reduction. Quicksand, Impaler Arrow, reduce cooldown of Impaler Arrow, that's going up 5 to 6%. Shimmer, gain damage reduction during withdraw stealth, that has been changed. Dropping below X amount of health, resets the cooldown of withdraw. And then Strike True, heal for X amount when striking an enemy with Impaler Arrow, that went up from 50 to 70. So let's go with Swagger, Wanderlust, Planted, and then I'll do this. This does have a 30-second cooldown on it, so I'm probably not going to do that. No, I'll go with this. So, boost health, reduce cooldown, and then the damage reduction.
Shaolin.
That's going to be a new one. Strix has changed, but Sky is the one we're going to do because there's not a lot we have to update with Sky. It's all cards in her loadout. Victory Rush. Gain movement speed for 12 seconds after getting a kill. That has been changed. Gained 10% movement speed for 8 seconds after getting an elimination. So the amount of speed you get and the duration of it has gone down, but it's also easier to do because it's gone from kills to eliminations. I'm probably not going to switch that card out. I'll probably just leave that where it is. The other one, Twilight Armor, that's another crowd control, and then Tactical Reload. Killing a player instantly restores X ammo. That's now after an elimination, restore X amount. So, she's done. Strix! Well, what do we have for Strix? Oh, back on Ceres, I did forget, the talent card Soul Collector. They changed the description of it. Before it was 20%, it said 20%. Every time you detonate a soul charge, it's now 2%. It was always 2%, they just did not have it listed properly. Infiltrator. No scope. And Infiltrator. Strix! To all those stupid Strix snipers out there who build around the handgun, like I do, we got nerfed. Reduced damage per shot from 250 down to 220. Not a big trade-off, you just increase your clip and you get that damage back, but they felt it was a big enough problem where they changed that. Couple of things changed here. Bushwhack, swapping to your pistol grants lifesteal for X amount. That's been increased from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Cooled magazines, every X amount your inactive weapon generates ammo. That has been changed from 2 seconds to 1.5. Flare. Reveal angle of flare has been decreased from 20 to 10%, and then resourceful. Every 2 seconds your rifle is out, the cooldown of flare is reduced. That has been changed. For every 1 second the rifle is out, the cooldown is reduced by 0.2% instead of 0.25%. Nothing really game-breaking for him.
Strix.
He may be a little bit easier to use, is all. Talus. Got a lot of people that play Talus that I know. They're gonna be really, excuse my French, fucking pissed off. Because he got buffed. Big time. So, let's start. His health is down from 2,000 to 1,900. Blitzer Upper now requires a direct hit for knockback. Also, it only affects one enemy. You cannot just dash into a group of multiple people and knock them all back anymore. Say bye-bye to that annoying feature of Talus. Also, as a trade-off, you will be getting 20% damage reduction while using Blitzer Upper. There is a change, Faustian Bargain, which is a rune of travel no longer activates automatically, and the cooldown is reset if it is not used. That no longer lowers the cooldown of Rune of Travel. Cards have changed as well. I don't know if I'm changing anything. We'll have to look and see. Ancient Power. Fuck it, we'll just do another one. This whole point was this. Ancient Power. Hitting an enemy while overcharge is active reduces cooldown of Blitzer Upper by X amount. The internal cooldown has been lowered from 2 seconds to 1 second. Also, also, the cooldown has been changed. It was 0.25, it's now 0.5. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the one next to it, and Tita Valuian speak English. Put it a word I can pronounce, man. Like, I can pronounce hard words, I'm not trying that. Enemies hit by overcharge receive X amount of reduced healing for X seconds. That's been increased from 2 to 3 seconds. Daredevil, activating Blitzer Upper heals you for X amount. That's going up from 50 to 70. Guts, take X amount less damage while below 40%. That has gone down 8% to 6%. Reload speed has gone up from 5 to 8%. And then Transient, which is the duration of Rune of Travel is reduced by X amount, is now just outright reduce the cooldown of Rune of Travel. So that's going to be interesting for me. And I have to take that now. This is going to be interesting, because I increased my ammo count just so I have a freaking machine gun on me. I'm going to do this.
Talus.
Okay, we're almost at the end. I promise, we only got a couple people left. Terminus! Boy, oh boy, did he get nerfed. Oh wait, I'm trying to customize my loadout. This is another thing that's going to piss me off, because I don't like the crown or the voice that Terminus has. I like the axe, but I'd probably just leave it as default Terminus. Because I don't, well, screw it, I'll do that. Okay, Massacre Axe. The damage has been nerfed. 700 to 650. Power Siphon's a bit interesting. He's kind of changed to being more of a Strix type character, where Strix's stealth bar consumes an amount. Okay, Power Siphon no longer consumes an initial amount of energy when activated. However, it locks players into using it for the duration of how much was used. So before, you could just activate it right away. It would cost a certain amount, and then deactivate it. Now you have to sit there with it up for however much you were going to do. So if you only have a little bit of Power Siphon, you're going to use it. No like what I would do, where I would just, if I saw an enemy ult coming, I would just activate it right away to get 4 charges and prevent the damage. And also to heal. Boy oh boy did some of his cards change. And we're gonna have to probably change a couple of these. I don't know for a fact if I am. Abomination, oh, where's my thing? Here we go. Abomination. Calamity charge shots reduce healing for 2 seconds by X amount is changed. Hitting an enemy with Calamity Blast reduces the healing they receive for 3 seconds by 8%. Devastation. Kills with Calamity Blast generate 4 new charges. That has been changed. Hitting an enemy heals you for X amount per hit. Forsaken, that's just crowd control. Necromantic Might. Reduce the damage required to generate a charge of Power Siphon. That has gone up from 100 to 1200. Thank you very much. And then Unfeeling is damage reduction for X amount after landing from Shatterfall. That's gone up from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. No changes here.
Terminus.
Torvald! Boy oh boy, Torvald. They really don't like you, Torvald. I'm sorry, they don't. Take that. I don't have anything here. I want to be able to outright purchase the Dark Lord costume. That is the only thing that will save you, is if I can purchase Dark Lord Torvald. Yeah, I was gonna say Dork Lord. Dork Lord Torvald outright. If they would let me do that, I would be a little bit happier, because I fucking want Dark Lord Torvald so bad. That's the one skin that has eluded me. Okay, Gauntlet has gone down. It was 200 damage, it's now 180. Almost all of his talents have been nerfed. Alternating Current is the only one that's still the same. Field Study. Enemies affected by protection gain additional 40% damage while shielded. This only applies when the shield is active. If the shield is destroyed, they will not get. There was a glitch where they were getting it for the duration of what they should have had. Where they should have had it for 2 seconds. So if the shield was destroyed right away, they still got that damage buff. No longer happens. Thanks, Grandpa. No longer applies. Close combat immunity. And then direct current has been reduced from 500 to 450 extra. Cards, only 2 changes. Glyph of Freedom is crowd control, and then Rune Torrent used to be activating Nullify, grants X amount. That is now activating Nullify, receives less healing for 3 seconds.
Torvald.
Okay, we're almost at the end. We're almost at it. We got 6 people left. Now that I've been rambling for 70 minutes.
Tyra.
Where is my Lunar Stinger? If they pulled... There we go. You don't take away my Lunar Stinger with Tyra. You don't do that. That's the first weapon this game gave me. It's the only weapon I use with Tyra, thank you very much. No changes to her abilities, which is a surprise. I heard they were going to be changing a couple of abilities, specifically Firebomb and Hunter's Mark were going to get changed. At least a couple of the talents. Apparently they backed off on that. Nothing I have to change for a loadout, but card-wise, a couple of changes. Oh, no, wait. Here we go. Favored Quarry, which was the reveal portion of Hunter's Mark, lasts longer. That is going from 1 second to 2 seconds, which is nice. Incensed, gain X amount of movement speed when activating Firebomb. That's up from 3 seconds to 4. And Quick Release, which is gain reload speed after using Nade Launcher. That has been changed. Activating Nade Launcher now grants you ammo. So... Tyra is still the most OP damage dealer in the game, ladies and gentlemen.
Victor.
Those of us who are surprised include no one. Yeah. Where's my war games? Okay. Victor got nerfed. Okay, his assault rifle. There used to be a thing where the first 4 rounds of your magazine had bonus damage. That is gone, but the base damage is up from 130 to 135 per round. And his grenade launcher would also give you bonus damage if you hit them with your rifle afterwards. So the go-to thing was cook a grenade right in somebody's face and then unload with the first 4 rounds. That ability is now gone. There's no more bonus damage for Victor's assault rifle. Only 2 cards got changed. Hitting an enemy during Iron Sight reveals for X amount. That went from 0.5 to 1 second, and then Scramble has been changed completely. Taking damage while using Hustle increased movement speed is now just gain damage reduction while using Hustle. Vivian. Vivian got a mixed bag. Vivian really did. The next 2 that we're going to have after this, Willow and Ying, they got improved pretty dramatically. But Vivian kind of has a mixed bag. Oh, wait. I didn't know I had that emote. Did they give me that emote? I'll take it. I just noticed that. So, for one thing, the Joyless Eyes card... Where is this? Joyless Eyes. Here we go. This now shows how much of a radius you are increased. And believe me, you're going to need it when I get to the details as to what happened to the reveal process afterwards. Vivian has also had the recoil of her LMG has been reduced, which is very helpful. This effect will stack with precision sights. Where precision sights, you got a small amount of reduced recoil, you do get that now as well. Cards have changed a little bit as well. Controlling Nature, which is successful shots in precision sight, reduce the cooldown of sensor drone. That's been increased from 0.04 to 0.06. Craft the Rip has been changed completely. Activating sensor drone grants X movement speed for X seconds has been changed. It's now gain X lifesteal against enemies revealed by sensor drone, and then movement speed is increased from 5 to 6%. So now we get to Willow. Quite possibly one of the most annoying, stupidest characters that I think they could have ever come up with. Because she's fucking useless outside of one ability, thank you very much. I firmly believe that. Well, she just became a lot more usable. First off, Dead Zone. Enemy players can no longer heal inside the dead zone at all. Before it was 90% reduction and they couldn't heal for 2 seconds when they left it. No. It's just straight up no healing. And then Seedling now has increased projectile collision. Before, people were shooting the seedlings out of the air and blowing them up in Willow's face. Which I don't know if that did self-damage or not. But, because I don't play Willow really. I played her twice. And that was once to see how she operated, once in a game of competitive just to mess with people, and I ended up doing really good, and then I haven't touched her since. So I don't know about the self-damage on that. But you can no longer shoot the seedling projectile and have it blow up in her face. Wham. Card changes. The all-important card changes. Now that Cards Unbound is gone, you know, these are going to be a lot more important. Photosynthesis has changed. It was gain reload speed after using seedling. Using seedling now generates ammo. Shenanigans. Gain movement speed for X amount when entering the dead zone. That went from 2 seconds to 4 seconds. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this one, the sprintingly thing. Yeah. Here we go. Gain damage reduction after activating Flutter. That used to be air control when Flutter ended. And then the last one is Twilight, which is reduced cooldown of dead zone by 0.5. That is now 0.7 seconds.
Willow.
Ying has gotten quite possibly the biggest fricking and most needed nerf into making her into a better healer. Because, just to be clear, she's not a healer. She's not. I don't want to hear it. She's not a healer. Of course, they decreased her health like they did with everybody else. Not a big drop-off, just 150. Illusions. The range you can deploy them has now been increased by 100%. And the healing has gone up from 350 to 420. So that's an extra 80 healing per second when near an illusion. Thank God. The lifelike card has also been changed. This is now illusions heal by 20% less instead of 30% less. The rest of it is just cards, which I'm probably gonna have to do. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a new loadout for this. Let me see. What's the basic? I know I take this. What else do I take? Well, anyway. That's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. I'll take that. And I'll take that. We'll upgrade that in a minute. So basically, okay, so the cooldown... Brittle is cooldown reduction of Shatter from 0.5 to 0.7%. Her reload speed card, which I skipped over that one. I normally take that. That's from 5 to 8%. Harmony, which is heal for X amount of damage dealt by Shatter, that's gone from 10 to 13%. Mesmerize has been completely changed. That was the range at which you can deploy illusions. That got changed to activating illusion grants ammo. Gain X amount of movement speed during Dimensional Link, and then increase the duration of Dimensional Link by X amount from 0.6 to 0.7%. Okay, what am I going to take here, though? I'll take this. This looks like a weird loadout. Last but not least, we have Zin. Zin! My boy. Dragon. Wait. Dragon. Do I want Dragon's Breath or... No, I want Kindle. No Pose and Conquer. Warspray. Okay. Zin does not have any ability changes. He has 2 changes to card loadouts. Hideout, which has increased the duration of Billow. That has been changed. That... Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a card away. I'm gonna have to do a new loadout for him because of that now. Basically, it's the duration of Billow has been decreased from 0.5 to 0.4 seconds, and then footwork has been changed. That was increased movement speed during counter. That's now activating counter increases movement speed. Let's start. Maximum health, ammo count, distance of whirl, duration of Billow. And what else did I have? I did the speed of Billow. How about that? 250. I've got to have that at 30. I'm going to have to stick with this loadout. Okay, so that is your character changes for every character in the game, what bug fixes we went over, balancing issues, all that crap, and the costumes and all that crap that pissed me off. Now we're going to get into some meat and bones. And then we're going to be done. Yay. One thing, daily login. Daily logins, no longer will you be getting gold for your day 6 login. That's now 15 crystals. Your day 7 login now rewards 35 crystals instead of 25. As a trade-off, daily quests will not give you small amounts of crystals. So the 7 crystals a day that I would get for being VIP 4, that is gone. That is now down to just straight up gold, which is going to be a bit annoying, basically. For me, I have to, Friday and Saturday, it is crucial that I make sure I log in on Friday and Saturday, because I get 50 crystals for doing that, but that's going to be crucial. Let's see, that's not important. Okay, the Ascension's Peak stuff I'm saving for the end. I need to bitch and moan and complain a little bit about some of the changes to ranked. This is all about customization. Actually, screw this. We'll skip ranked for a minute. We're not going to talk about the maps at all. You're have to figure that out yourself. Reveal has been changed. This is probably the big thing. Players who are revealed are no longer directly placed into combat. So where before you had the in-game item that was, I think that's, I don't remember what it's called, but it's heal 4% maximum health every second you're out of combat. If you were revealed, it would stop that. That no longer happens, so that item's a little bit more usable. However, the duration and range of reveals has been reduced entirely. Like, seriously, if you want to know some information here, Vivian's Sensor Drone has been halved from 90 to 45. Strix's Flare has been almost 3 times that, from 120 to 45. Both of those still reveal through stealth, however. And then all of the cards that you can do, those reveal to yourself only. They also reveal through stealth. So, those include Victor, Terminus, Talus, Shaolin, Ceres, Ruckus, Moji, Maldamba, Leon. Lex I'm going to get to in a minute. He's different. Canessa, Genos, those characters all reveal through stealth to themselves. They don't have any range reduction, obviously. But Vivian and Strix definitely do. Interestingly enough, Lex's Retribution ability has not changed, except it will no longer reveal enemies through stealth, and it permanently removes retribution from them. So that's an interesting pickup for him. Now we're going to get into ranked, which is pissing me off. For one thing, everybody gets reseeded. Want to take a look at the leaderboard? Too bad. Y'all have been reseeded. Everybody has to re-qualify. Now, they're saying they're not making any changes to this. You shouldn't, this is just a matter of principle. But every season from now on, you are going to be re-ranking. Okay, good. Hey, it opened! So I have to play 10 games to qualify. It also resets all of the leaderboards for how many games you win in competitive. Which sucks. So Gold 5, you're going to get that new skin for Vivian. You also get the Town Crier for doing that. For playing 25 games, which is pretty easy. Couple of changes have been done. For one thing, Season 2 is now split into 3 sections. So there's 3 splits instead of 2. Each one will have new rewards and the soft reset. This is a hard reset as opposed to a soft. The close of Season 2 will be the start of 2019. They're saying it's near the start, so probably about December is where we're going to have that. The number of bands has been increased from 2 to 4. There are now 4 total, which is 2 per team. So expect Talus Moji to be gone, 1, 2. Expect Tyra to be gone, 3. And then, depending on what idiots you have on your team, you're either going to have Strix, Ceres, Sky, Terminus, some combination of them gone. They've also added 30 seconds to the drafting process because of this change. Also, there's no longer going to be portrait frames that indicate current ranked divisions anywhere. You will not know what your rank is. Other people cannot know what your rank is. At the end of the season, you will, if you win 200 games, you will get a loading screen that shows your highest division acquired during the season. Mind you, that is not the division you are currently in. If I win 200 straight games and get ranked up to being a master, I will get that frame. Then if I lose 200 straight games and fall down to gold 5, I'm still going to be shown as a freaking master on there, which is a bit annoying. Also, because of the number of bans, the amount of champions you have to play has gone up from 12 to 14. However, the number of qualifying matches obviously has gone down from 15 to 10. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about the Siege of Ascension's Peak, which is basically a load of hooey. It's not as fun as I figured it was going to be once I got the details on. Basically, it is an onslaught game mode. It is Paladins versus Magistrate. Okay? 2 problems. 1, you do not select if you are the Paladins or the Magistrate. Number 2, you do not select your character. You are randomly assigned a character. If you're good with that character, congratulations. If you're bad with that character, oh well, you cost your team the game. So it's one of the things they want you to get good with characters, but I don't really like that idea. Other than that, the big thing is you're going to have to dodge. The Magistrate has artillery fire raining down, so you have to dodge that. But because of Genos' ability, it's 50% cooldown reduction. This effect stacks with Chronos. This effect stacks with any card that you have. This effect stacks with loadouts. Maldamba is going to be absolutely freaking insane with my build for him. I can literally cast out damage abilities every freaking second. I'm just going to be hammering L2. Hammering it. Same thing with Steris. Restore Soul. Every second that bad boy is going to be out. It is going to be impossible to die in this game mode without Cauterize. I kid you not. This is a game mode that if you do not take Cauterize, you are freaking doomed. I will have some videos later on that, but this has been a very long video. I'm very pissed off about a couple of things, about the re-ranking and stuff like that. One thing I do want to see, I want to go to the store. I want items. Skins. I want to buy Dark Lord Torvald. Is it possible we can do this? I talked about this earlier. I'm not seeing it. What's Torvald at? Torvald. Nope! Okay, so they have to remove that, basically. It's a bit annoying. They do have a couple of bundles. The big bundles that are coming out are these interesting ones. Where you can unlock these bundles right here. You can... No, shut up, this. You get the Academic, the Demon Slayer, and the Jade Priestess bundle, which is 900 crystals. Which, that comes out to about $25. You will then get, the Genos one for free, the Soul Eater Genos. So obviously start saving up for it, people. You can also win those via, but I am done with this hour-and-a-half long rant. I'm really hoping that ranked gets fixed. I'm really hoping, well, I don't know. I haven't tried ranked yet. We'll find out in a minute. But I'm really hoping that the costuming gets fixed. Because I think you should be able to choose select voice packs. I think you should be able to choose the accessories. I understand it's a slimming feature for them, but it's a big problem. But thanks for watching. Hope you'll watch again. Goodbye.